Hello and welcome to Chip Advisor. Yes, welcome back. Welcome any new listeners. We are a food-based podcast, which eventually will at some point during this podcast briefly touch on the subject in the title. This week we are talking about the humble ploughman's lunch. We were going to be all on theme and do pumpkins, but then realized that between us, none of us have really eaten pumpkin, so wouldn't have much to say on the matter. So we decided against it and went for a ploughman's because that's what Mike wanted for his dinner tonight. Mike, you still haven't got a theme tune, so I'm going to press any button just to introduce you. Let's go with... Okay. Everybody, here is Mike.
All. It's a pleasure to be with you. So it is.
How are you doing, Mike?
That was my very best Jim McDonald there. Please.
Do you want me to stop it?
Yeah, please. Great to be with you, though. Plough now, brown cow.
Oh, that's smooth.
That has been on the cards for a good hour or so, let me tell you. And it got just the reaction I was hoping for. So,
well, that's good. I am also here with Lewis. How are you, Lewis?
Blessings, friends and listeners. It's good to be here. Yes, I'm all right. Thank you, Phil. I spent my afternoon painting my daughter's bedroom. It's not my favourite job to do, but it's made her happy.
Oh, that's nice.
I spent the afternoon getting down all my Christmas Village boxes from the loft, of which there are very many.
Oh, right. Now you should explain to listeners that you've got a pensioner's hobby at Christmas.
Yeah, and should we timestamp this just or date stamp this for this revelation? It is 29th of October.
It is, but you this doesn't just fall into place. You know, this takes a lot of prep, guys. So got it all down. I'm going to take it into my office and slowly but surely over the next month build it, and then once I know that I've got it right, take it apart and build it back at home. So it's a long-winded process, lads, but it's worth it in the end. Oh, the magic.
Lewis, your painting, did it seem like a good idea at the start, and then actually it takes so much longer than you think it would?
Yeah, absolutely. 4 hours in, I looked at Mrs. P and we just went, why are we doing this? This was a terrible decision on a Sunday afternoon. But anyway.
What colour have you gone for?
We have gone for, what was it called? Olive green or something like that. No, sage. Sage. I mean,
named after the accounting software.
Yeah, must be. I mean, I've been blown away by a revelation about paint. I was talking to Harry. He's not with us this evening, but and he laughed at me that I didn't know about this. But I was painting the ceiling, and did you know you can get paint that when you paint your ceiling? You know, it's hard to see where you've painted, where you're painting white on white. You get paint that's pink when you put it on, and then it dries white. It's magic paint. I mean, it absolutely blew my mind, but people laughed at me that I didn't know about this. So by your reaction, the magic paint is a revelation to you as well.
100%. When I think magic paint, I think of the books I absolutely loved as a child, which you would just dab a bit of water on and then colour would emerge. You remember those?
Oh, yeah, I do. They were good, actually.
They were really good, and really no thought or care really required. Just splash water all over it. It's going to do its thing.
It's pretty much like how I've painted Emma's bedroom.
How did those magic painting books work? I mean,
I don't know.
Just magic.
Because it never went outside the lines either. No, even if you did water outside the lines.
No. Do you remember the other ones? You used to be able to get those the ones that had like felt rounds that made the picture, and then you felt tipped inside the felt circles and squares. Yeah. And if you got too close to the felt, you got a bit of felt in the colour, and it was upsetting.
I remember getting a Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles one of them when I was about 8.
Very
exciting.
It's funny you should mention Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Is it?
On this Ploughman's themed podcast. But did you know that the voice... Oh, no, not already. Oh, no, Italian, fine. Did you know? I'm sorry, I thought it was the Peruvian
Cypriot.
Cypriot that you cut me off with. Did you know that in the cartoon in the 90s of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, their Heroes in a Half Shell, that the voice of Shredder was the same actor who was Uncle Phil in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
I did not know that. That is mind-blowing.
I learned that today.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
All I remember about it wasn't it Hero Turtles in the UK, but Ninja Turtles in other places, and like Ninja Turtles was seen as being a bit too violent, so it was Hero Turtles.
It was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power.
Yeah, but I think it was Ninja Turtles. I think
Elsewhere.
probably in America.
Yeah. Get that. And of course, it featured the most attractive. I know, Phil, you've got a thing for the caramel bunny, but the most attractive cartoon woman in the world, April O'Neil.
No, Mikey, that was so not right.
Do you know what? Just you say that, my wife walks into the recording with a cup of tea for me. I didn't mean it, and I did say the cartoon world. Oh,
Which cartoon figure does your wife find most attractive?
Who do you find most attractive in the cartoon world?
Can I guess? It's Inspector Gadget.
I can't imagine. Big respect to Gadget.
Oh, those Go-Go Gadget arms.
Apparently, he looks quite like me, so she's not interested.
Oh,
He-Man. Okay.
Oh, He-Man.
Yeah.
Fair.
Lewis, I mean, Phil's is the caramel bunny. We've discussed it at length on other podcasts before.
Oh my goodness.
He's quite obsessed with her. But you're...
Oh, all right. You might have to leave this one. Oh, exotic. You might need to leave that. Come back to me on that. I have to give that some. Right. I don't want to just sort of have an off-cuff answer here. I feel like this needs some proper thought and care given to my answer.
We'll come back to it at the end. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Can I, Lewis? Can you? Oh no, you can't. If you mute, you. Yeah, I want to guess that Lewis's is going to be the one from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's my guess.
I mean, you're going to be wrong because I've never seen that.
Oh, you haven't lived. Anyway, we are talking about ploughmans. 7 minutes, so we've cut it down by 6 minutes on last week's. We are going to start talking about the actual subject of the podcast. Mike,
hello.
Me.
Well, I've done a little bit of research, lads. The ploughmans. Well, it's an English cold meal, as you know, and it's based around bread and cheese and pickled onions. And actually, cheese, bread, and onions were the forefathers of the ploughmans. It wasn't known as the ploughmans at the time.
Have you got ploughmans in your cheek? You sound like you're talking with ploughmans in your cheek.
Yeah, I have. I'll stop that. Bear with me. I just thought, in the interest of authenticity, I should be eating it, but fine. But yeah, bread, cheese, and onions. They were the three core components of what is now known as the ploughmans. As early as 1394, it was bread, cheese, butter, and beer. And perhaps lard rather than butter. But yeah, and that was really all it was known as was the ploughmans up until the 1870s. And in the 1870s, farm workers in Devon were said to eat bread and hard cheese with cider. So beer was replaced with cider there, and labourers would quite often that was all that was served in pubs in the 1870s and beyond. Right up until the early 1900s, that was all that was served, was bread, cheese, and cider, or bread, cheese, and beer.
So when did the onions join the club?
Well, the onions was more of a rural thing, workers going out. Whereas if you went to a pub, it was just bread, cheese, butter.
Lewis, because at the moment we live fairly in the sticks. Did you have was ploughmans a thing in London, or was it just eels?
Yeah, no. Eels, mushy peas, pies. No, we did also have ploughmans. We did even venture into such complex cuisine as the ploughmans.
Pie and liquor.
Love pie and liquor.
Yeah.
I was confused by some of our thread on the WhatsApp group of when we talked about when we suggested ploughmans possibly as a suggestion, that Phil claimed to have never eaten a ploughmans.
100%.
I mean,
what a waste of a meal.
I mean, surely you've had all of the elements of a ploughman's at some point in your life, because it is basic.
Yeah, individually, of course, I've had these things, but who in their right mind goes to it is mainly a pub, isn't it, that you'd go and get a ploughman's? Who in their right mind thinks I'm going to spend, and these days it's an extortionate amount of money. You're talking 15 quid or something on a ploughman's when it is just a tiny amount of cheese, a corner of some bread, or possibly 2 pickled onions, an apple, which goodness only knows why that's come. Why is that on the plate? A lump of celery, which is just crispy water, and a dot of pickle. How is that £15 worth of food?
I mean, surely though, even if you've not had it out, you've eaten one by accident at home.
No,
just by having those things in the house.
Listen, I have a cheese and pickle sandwich. That's my go-to sandwich.
I mean, you've basically got a ploughman's there. Just pull it apart. Ploughman's done.
Yeah, and shove an apple on top. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't really remember an apple being a component of it, but yeah.
Michael, you are the most anti-sweet and savoury mix person. You get very upset about this.
There's no apple on my ploughman's.
But a ploughman's, that's one of the quirks of a ploughman's.
One.
So what happens when you get an apple on your ploughman's? You just lob it into a field?
Well, I'd probably finish my dinner and then have it for my pudding.
Oh, I love chopping up an apple at home and then putting a bit of cheese on top and eating it together. Did you never have a cheese and pineapple hedgehog at a birthday party?
Yeah, I did. And I had the cheese off all of my sticks. And then when I'd finished the rest of my savoury food, I had the pineapple.
Oh, what an absolute Philistine.
I had it with my cake.
What a strange individual.
Anyway, I do want to pick up on what you say, Phil, because I think there is some validity in it. If you there are a lot of there's a branch round our way called Renoufs, who will charge you an absolute fortune for what is just an incredibly expensive Dairy Lunchables.
Let's not abuse them too much because sponsorship positions are available, Renoufs.
Burger King have got us locked in, mate.
Have they? Because that soundboard went a long time ago, I believe.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, you will pay 25 quid, upwards of 25 quid actually, for some crackers, some cheese, some ham. That's it. Maybe a bit of bread. It's a Dairy Lunchables.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would never, ever walk into a pub and order a ploughman's. A ploughman's is something that you're at some sort of buffet type event that's not quite as good as a buffet, but there's a ploughman's on a plate. And
what you're describing, Lewis, is a bring and share after church lunch.
Well, to some degree, it feels like not a very good bring and share lunch.
You must have had a harvest supper with a ploughman's before.
Oh yeah, I have, absolutely. So, but I'm saying I wouldn't go into a pub or a restaurant and order that if there are other things to choose from.
It feels like
as a side note.
Go on, sorry, Lewis.
As a side note, with the old bring and share meals, if people don't know them, it's a bit of a staple of the church after service get together a few times a year. My brother always calls them the bring and steal lunch because he always says he brings stuff that's good and people steal the good stuff and leave him with the rubbish stuff. My brother has been known to order a Domino's and bring Domino's to a bring and share or bring and steal lunch.
Strong effort.
Wow, I need to go to more bring and share lunches with your brother. That's crazy. I mean, obviously Domino's is not available for delivery anywhere near us, so
yeah, he does live in the metropolis.
So a ploughman's, if I hadn't ordered it and didn't know what it was, and someone said, "Oh, I've ordered your lunch for you," and someone brought out a ploughman's, I would just assume they have got whatever's left in the fridge and just dumped it on a plate at random.
There are interchangeable parts. I mean, sausage sometimes find its way in. Q exotic.
Hang on. already had the button highlighted.
Exotic.
Yes, indeed. But sometimes a boiled egg.
I find it easier using my hands, but you may use whatever implements you prefer.
Wowie, Nigella. Boiled egg, some tomato, perhaps. There are some interchangeable parts, but the staples are cheese, bread, butter, onion of some description. I'll carry on with my history because in the 1950s, the term ploughman's was not a commonly used name. It sort of phased away, and the Cheese Bureau decided that Cheese Bureau decided that they wanted to I don't know, sex up cheese, and so they made it all butcher manly. Imagine that rugged man coming up from the field. He ploughed his field and he was ready to scatter. Well, God, I've never thought of it in that way, actually. That's
I wish that terminology wasn't used. I'm just going to stop this music.
It feels like this is sort of some sort of agricultural Diet Coke advert.
That music, Phil. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. That music will very quickly start me bringing out innuendo. So let's not unless we really want those.
The speed at which you went on about. Yep. Okay. Carry on.
Anyway, so the Cheese Bureau picked up on this, and they decided they were going to market this idea of a ploughman's lunch. Cheese had just stopped being rationed after the wars, and it really took off. And there were lots of bulletins in newspapers about bread, cheese, lettuce, hard-boiled eggs, cold sausages, and they referred it to a ploughman's lunch. And it was in the 70s that then the milk team, do you remember when they used to sponsor like football cups, and they used to talk about Ian Rush on adverts, and they used to advertise just milk, no particular brand, just milk. They started bigging up the ploughman's lunch because it was milk and cheese, and so it was really got behind in the 70s and 80s by them. It has since dropped away, what with milk not really advertising anymore, and the Cheese Bureau maybe dropping into the background.
But now a ploughman's is a very artisan thing, isn't it? Do a nice fancy ploughman's, but actually you're getting a plate of randomness.
I'm guessing back in the day as well, when you say cheese, it was a bit of cheddar, wasn't it? Whereas I guess now you're probably branching out to different types of cheese.
Oh, I think you'll find a blue cheese more often than not, won't you?
Oh, back in the 50s.
In addition to the cheddar?
Yeah, I would say so.
I would say now, I think definitely you would. I'm a big fan of the blue cheese, but I wonder if it feels like a more recent addition.
You might well be right. Doesn't tell me that on Wikipedia.
Right. Feels very continental. Yeah.
That's some of my research, lads.
Mike, what is on your ploughman's that you're eating tonight?
Okay, so in my mouth right now is some crusty bread. Very nice. Got it from the bakery section earlier.
The bakery section of which establishment, please?
More reasons to shop at Morrison's.
Oh, is that an advert?
Mm.
You just made a jingle up.
Yeah,
no,
they
advertise regularly on Talk Sport for some reasons, in amongst Selco, where the trade go, and Juicens and various betting companies. Morrison's pop up every now and then. Some crusty bread, some mature cheddar, no Stilton for me, ham that I've rolled up.
How mature is your cheddar? Talk to me.
Oh, it's very mature.
Is it vintage?
It's more mature than you, mate. It's vintage.
Oh. Is it?
I think the fact you've rolled up the ham is very important. That's definitely my mindset of what a ploughman's. The ham is always rolled up.
Yeah, I've gone to the effort.
Yeah.
Is it thick ham? Wafer thin ham?
I'm afraid it's wafer thin sandwich ham.
Oh no!
Now show me hand.
Now you've ruined it.
I've still rolled it up, lads. It's not Billy Bear, is it? I've given it a go.
I really think you have been particularly nasty on this one.
Oh dear. Well, so there we go, and some cucumber to offer just a little bit of vitamin C in there. Some chutney. Don't move on. I think there's vitamin C in cucumber. There's a C in cucumber. There's 2 C's in cucumber. Chutney. And
what kind of chutney you got?
Caramelized
chutney. Very good.
Sorry, caramelized what?
Onion chutney.
Oh, so it's the best chutney. To be honest, it's the only chutney.
Well, there's a tomato chutney you can get.
Yeah, I don't want it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I do. Yeah. What about a bit of piccalilli?
No,
thank you. Piccalilli with the ploughman's.
No, thank you.
No?
Not for me.
Oh,
No.
Anything that's a colour that nothing grows is probably not to be trusted.
Yeah, you like Marmite.
Yeah, because I mean, you get plenty of brown things.
I mean, bananas.
Marmite is black.
Is it? No, I'm saying that Marmite and Vegemite are both dark brown.
Okay. All right. Well, I should just Just as a throwback, I was on holiday this last week, and my daughter Emma decided she'd listen to the podcast and said, "You promised that you would try Marmite."
Oh, well
So
done, Emma.
So she bought me a
hello.
tub of Marmite. You lot are sick.
Talk
What's
us
the
through your
problem?
experience, Lewis.
Well, nice bit of toast. Ruined, all I can say, by seemingly just spreading salt on a piece of toast.
Sweet, sweet, juicy salt, though. Did you have butter?
I did have butter. I thought that might help. It didn't help. I then I cut off that little corner that the Marmite contaminated. Nice bit of apricot conserve on the rest of it.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Yeah, no. So if anyone wants, I mean, I don't know if we got a quiz with a prize, but I have a jar of Marmite with probably half a teaspoon taken out of it. So, which
I 100% thought you were going to offer off the 3/4 of the piece of toast that you didn't eat.
Oh no, I ate that. Don't worry about that.
It comes straight to pudding and put jam on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love an apricot conserve on a nice, fresh French baguette.
absolutely.
Loads of butter. What a breakfast.
Disgusting. That is my wife's least favourite noise that I make, and I make quite a few.
Well, hang on. What is your
What you just did there with your yeah, she doesn't like that at all.
It's a little bit
she won't-
Popeye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is.
Well, she won't
you make
sleep
a
well
quiz.
if she's listening to this.
Say again.
She won't sleep well if she's listening to this. She's going to get rudely awakened by.
Oh, I thought you were going blur on us there.
Yeah, I thought you were going to be rudely awakened by the
Art
dust.
life.
No,
Rudely awakened by that.
Yeah.
Right,
I hear you.
shall we quiz? You mentioned it.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love a quiz. It's a quiz. It's a quiz. It's a quiz. It's a quiz.
Well, as we've already, I think, established, I haven't spent a lot of time preparing for this, and there has been a touch of the Sunday night before back to school homework scenario of it. But my quiz is all around pickle, because we just talked about chutney. Pickle now quite a staple of the what are we talking about? Ploughmans. And so
You said ploughman's like Shabba.
Another one for the kids.
Mr. Pickle Man, Ploughmans. So let's do our quiz. So basically, Branston pickle. I would like you to take it in turns to name ingredients found in Branston pickle. Tension music, please, Phil.
Okay.
Okay. Are we talking small chunk? Are we talking?
We're talking standard.
My wife once bought me, and I'm sure she won't mind me saying this, because she bought me pickle from Lidl, and I wasn't interested.
Almost rhymes, but not quite.
It wasn't very good, and so then she very kindly got me. She went out specially and got me some Branston's pickle, but got me the smooth stuff.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Like pickle jam.
Yeah,
Right.
that does sound awful.
It was grim, and I kind of said to her, "Oh no, I'll use it," and it stayed in the cupboard for a couple of years, I reckon, whilst I got through many jars of normal pickle that I'd bought in between.
So is that
Never.
smoother then? Because you can get sandwich pickle, can't you? Which has tiny little chunks in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got your small chunk, which is my personal favourite.
Right. So this is completely smooth.
Yeah, it's like been blitzed. It's a paste. It's like brown sauce, but it tastes of pickle.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want it in a sandwich. You don't want it, full stop, unless you're trying to punish someone. It's not good. But it was very kind of her at the time. Tension music, anyway.
It's an odd punishment. What would you have to do to be punished with smooth pickle? What sort of a crime would befit that punishment?
I don't know. What had you done, Phil, just before Holly arrived with that pickle?
Well, so today we had the rare occasion where I was in church this morning. Mike was in church, and he did a very smutty reading. It was very. Mike, I don't know what was wrong with him today, but Mike got asked to do a reading, and it was very smutty. And then at one point, because we were sat near the back, We saw Mike put his arm round his wife, which there's no need for romance. Come on now, let's behave ourselves.
She was wearing ripped jeans in church, and she said to me at one point, "Do you think these are distracting?" Because when her mum had walked back from doing the prayers, the Father David said, "Thank you, Claire, for those prayers," even though Claire hadn't done them. It was her mum, and I think she had subliminally got on everyone's head. I had my arm round her.
Yeah,
and
there
was a bit of sexual tension. I'm not afraid to say it. Is that okay, Lewis?
Well, no, not after the reading that you did. Smooth pickle would have been a fair punishment for that. So petty crime.
Petty crime. There was another. I looked back to you, but you weren't catching my eye. In the last,
I couldn't look at you. I was appalled at your behaviour.
Well, the last hit contained the lyrics, "You're my friend, you're my lover," which again just felt a bit out there.
Oh, your church breaking out all these modern numbers.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
I don't know if they
was it a James Blunt number?
Actually, a Dua Lipa song that they just put to an old hymnal tune. But
I'd like to try that. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Just pick a pop song and just stick it to a hymn tune and see what happens. See if anyone notices.
Yeah.
Talking of notices,
anyway, pickle.
Country music, please.
Okay, Lewis, because you're giving the Marmite away, or indeed keeping it, you can go first.
Right. Okay.
Ingredients in pickle. This is right.
Oh yes, yeah. For listeners who drifted off for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I'd say vinegar.
Barley malt vinegar is there. Bill.
Well, vinegar was going to be my one, so I'm going to go salt.
Salt is there.
Okay. Right. I feel like they're two of the obvious ones to go. Right. This could be a very short quiz. Right. Let's go to some of the main constituents. What are some of those chunks made of? Right. Well, I reckon that is there some onion in there? I feel like there must be some onion in there.
There is some onion there. There's not just onion, but there's onion powder.
Right.
Onion powder?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I try not to think about what pickle is as I'm eating it.
Yeah, fair.
So, yeah, it's lots of vegetables, isn't it? I will go for there's got to be some carrot in there.
Oh, there is carrot.
Yeah. That's where I was going next, Phil. Well done. I feel like one of the we've already mentioned it as sometimes as part of a ploughman's, and I don't like it, but it often sneaks into different things and doesn't taste of anything if you boil it down enough. Is there some celery? I feel like celery kind of is in lots of things like that.
Celery. Bill, stand by with the sad music.
Oh no.
There is no celery.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
The Marmite, you get to keep it, mate. Oh no, Phil gets it.
Yeah, surely I get to pass this away.
So, any others, Phil, that you think you might have found?
I reckon water. I reckon water would be in there.
Water's in there.
Good.
I'm going tomatoes.
Yes.
Oh no, tomato puree.
Yeah.
There's some spice of some sort.
It does just say herb and spice extract, so yes, there is some spice.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What are the big chunks? Are they carrot?
Carrot? Yeah, I thought carrot.
Maybe. Oh, what else is in a coleslaw? Cabbage? Is there cabbage in there?
There's no cabbage. There is carrot, onion, cauliflower, lemon juice, dates, apple pulp. It sounds disgusting, doesn't it? Sugar, and a vegetable called rutabaga.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, rutabaga. The brother of Luke. Yes. Very good.
Yeah. Oh, sugar. That I should have got that one.
Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. That was the quiz. Phil, congratulations. You are this week's winner.
Woohoo!
Right.
Let's
Well,
say
I'll officially pass over the Marmite next time I see you, Phil.
thank you very much. Bad news regarding passing things over. The Vegemite shapes that I mentioned on last week's
Yeah, looking
podcast.
forward to them.
Well, you can look forward to them. I've eaten them.
What?
I couldn't really resist, and the kids wanted to try them. And to be fair, they were bought for us and the kids to try.
Were they?
Yeah.
You sure about? I think the kids put hours and hours into this podcast. Don't think the kids were researching Ploughmans over their dinner.
No, that is true. Anyway, they were very nice. Tasted a bit like cheese straws.
Oh, good.
You ever put Marmite in a cheese straw that you've made at home? That's quite a nice twist.
I have not. No.
Well, as discussed on the Marmite podcast, Marmite and cheese pinwheels, which is basically
Now, did the kids enjoy them, Phil?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Oh, well, as long as they did, that's all right then.
Oh, what's wrong with your children?
They're really good. They're like crackers, but they're covered in Vegemite and cheese flavoring and salt. Yeah, it's all good.
Look, I know you're gonna have some listener questions, but I've got to go and get a mince pie for my pudding.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right
By
back.
the way, you go and get that. We will be doing a mince pie episode, and we will have a very special guest on the mince pie episode. That'll be coming up before Christmas. So just to trail some other episodes that will be coming up, we are going to psychoanalyze each one of our Christmases as Christmas specials. So they will be in addition to normal episodes, I believe, and that will be great fun because I can't wait to find out what Harry did at Christmas when he was young.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about the Brennan family routine.
Yeah, enough, and yours will be interesting as well, Lewis. But I
feel Harry's is going to be much more interesting than mine. I'm not scared to admit that.
Yes, but as it is, we need to keep on moving. Anyway, so we've got some listener questions. Now I just want to do the wrap, but I won't. Do you want your listener questions now, Michael, on your Ploughmans? You ready to answer all of these?
Oh yeah, let's go for it.
Mince pie. Which mince pie have you got there?
So I've got. I went to Morrison's. More reasons to shop at Morrison's.
Still not heard. The only two times I've heard that jingle is when you've sung it.
Wow, it's a real jingle. I went to Morrison's earlier on, and I got you the deep fill Morrison's ones.
They're amazing, yeah.
But because I spent all my money on the deep fill ones for you, I got the normal ones for me.
The bakery ones, though, yeah.
No, just the cheapest ones they did.
No, Mikey, no, Mikey, that was so not right.
It's okay. It's okay. It's the opposite of what Nathan was talking about in the Bible, I think.
Yeah, in your smutty passage.
Mm.
Again, I don't want to ever say that again as a sentence. Help.
And now I
listener
have
question
nuts to
number
attend to.
Listener questions. Yes, listener questions. So, if there could be a non-traditional item on the menu, what would it be? I assume not on the menu, on the Ploughman's plate.
Can I assume that a Joe asked this question?
Incorrect. Nick.
Oh,
don't worry. Joe's there. Don't worry.
Surely there must be a question from a
Yeah,
Joe.
yeah.
At
There's
least
a
one
question
Joe.
from a Joe. Yeah.
Right.
I'd like to have a potato salad.
Oh, that would be nice.
What? So something a bit creamy.
Yeah, but also a bit potatoey.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So
Okay.
So how about this for an idea? Now I'm thinking top head. Right, get rid of the ham.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm good for that.
Unroll the ham.
No. Yeah, just throw the ham up. Stick a beef burger on it.
Oh God.
Beef burger, big bit of bread, bit of cheese melted on top, bit of chutney in there. You've basically created quite a nice burger there.
Yeah.
You've just built a burger. That sounds like an absolutely delicious burger.
For a second there, I thought you were going to have a beef burger in a bun next to some bread. I thought you were going double gluten.
No. Just the meat burger itself. Yeah.
We did the classic the other week at McDonald's. We don't go to McDonald's often because, we don't go out for food often because it costs so much. But we went to McDonald's and two of our children are veggies, and one of them really wanted a Happy Meal because they had mini squishy toy things. So she said, and she doesn't like the veggie finger option. So I'm there at the drive-thru. I say, "Can I get the cheeseburger kids Happy Meal, please? No burger though, please." And it always confuses them, and they think that I'm winding them up. And yeah, it's just so embarrassing. And you have to explain it. Right? She's a vegetarian. Oh, we've got veggie fingers. She doesn't like those. Just a bun, please, with a slice of cheese in. Can you make me a cheese sandwich?
Essentially, could you just put a toy in a bag and pass it through the window?
How much for just the toy?
You buy the toys separately, lads.
What?
Can you?
You can buy them separately.
My kids are sort of a bit past this phase, so I don't really know.
£1.49.
Oh, Phil.
Norman!
What the heck?
Yeah.
Is that Fireman Sam?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Felt like running it back. Running it back. What about pickled egg, gents? What about pickled egg?
Oh, not a fan.
Oh gosh, is there anything you do like?
Yeah, just none of your weird stuff.
Nothing wrong with a pickled egg.
I like the idea of the pickled egg. They feel a bit kind of out there, a bit kooky, and I quite like the idea of associating myself with them. You know, seeing myself as a bit of a food renegade, but actually, in reality, they're not that great.
Just put a boiled egg on the side, surely that'd be fine.
Scotch egg.
Scotch egg, perfect. Scotch egg would be a great idea.
If you do want to find out more about Scotch eggs, please do look further down the list of our episodes. You'll see we did one on Scotch eggs, maybe the 6th, 7th one in, something like that. Do you remember doing the Scotch egg one?
Oh yeah, one of my favourites.
One of what would you say is your favourite?
Oh gosh, probably this one.
Okay, cool, great. Okay, Joe has replied to Nick and said a Scotch egg or a pork pie, but only half.
The pork pie, famously named after the character from Desmond's, the 90s Channel 4 sitcom.
Yeah, that has gone completely over my head.
Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame.
I mean, I know who you're talking about.
Thanks.
It's a very nice reference.
Thank you. It was set in London.
Yeah, certainly was.
Probably outside Lewis's house somewhere, I assume.
Lewis, presumably, when you grew up, you were only allowed to watch EastEnders, Desmond's, and Pigeon Street.
Yeah, and The Bill.
Oh, The Bill, yes, of course.
Crime Watch.
Yeah, Crime Watch. Got there before me.
Lovely stuff.
Casualty.
Next question.
Oh dear. Yeah, I was too slow on the soundboard, but Casualty's there, and we can all think about it. Zoe, what is a meat replacement on a vegetarian ploughman's? And is a vegan version of a ploughman's just a deconstructed salad sandwich with a pickled onion?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want the ham anyway. It's only ham that makes it not vegetarian, right?
Yeah.
You do often get a pork pie.
You do sometimes get a pork pie.
But only a bit of it. Some for the chef, some for the plate.
Vegetarian, you're going to go a bit egg crazy, I think. Vegan, it's a bit miserable, isn't it? Bit of tofu. I don't know what vegans eat.
When something as rubbish as a ploughman's potentially still can't be eaten by vegans, what is the point?
I mean, you are having to do away with a lot of the key components from a ploughman's.
What are you left with? Celery and a pickled onion.
I mean, you've shoehorned celery in there. I mean, celery was never in any of my research.
Just feels like it's exactly the sort of thing. A little cutting of celery to really ruin your day. Looking forward to our celery episode.
Oh dear, yeah.
Celery. What is celery? Why? I mean, I'm an Italian, but I don't know why we put celery in our spaghetti bologneses. Still don't know the purpose.
I think
it bulks it out.
Yeah, it's just good for you, isn't it?
Yeah, doesn't taste of anything once it's cooked down.
Yeah, fine.
Is it related? I mean, if only Harry was here, I'd love to know if it's related to, maybe it's like the evil brother of rhubarb.
Celery?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you explain the situation and pretend you do know?
I won't do the Harry. I don't got quite Harry off. Yeah. Well. Oh, where's it gone?
Oh, well, it's just for some reason when you talk and there's music playing, I can't hear you. So.
Well, don't worry. I'll wave when I'm finished.
What do you mean you wave when you're finished?
And then you can stop the music.
Yeah, but none of us would have been able to hear you.
Oh, everyone else will, just not you. Hit play. So what happens is, what happened was, have you heard the story, Lewis? You'll be familiar with the story of the devil, Lucifer. You'll be familiar with the story of Lucifer.
I've heard him mentioned. Yeah.
It was a similar story to that of Lucifer, like he fell from heaven or something.
Right. Okay.
And and rhubarb was in heaven, and celery sort of fell.
Right.
It was a bit like that. Celery and rhubarb.
Have you been watching too much VeggieTales?
Yeah. I'm not really sure. But yeah, evil brother. Oh, he's playing it. Yeah. Okay, noted.
I thought it'd be fun to hear your views, but it wasn't. Right.
No.
So anything replacing the meat. Have you ever found a good meat substitute for anything?
Fish?
In a way, kind of still. It's just like a salty meat, isn't it? Fish.
It's horrible, isn't it?
Just like a salty meat. I know you don't like fish, Phil, but
I am a grown man, Malcolm.
Fish, always known as a bit like meat, but a bit salty.
Yeah.
Well, it is, isn't it? It's just meat that's lived in the sea.
Right.
I think I'm right here.
Fish.
Yeah, you could be. No, look, if vegetarian, just sack it off and go and get. If you're vegan, just go and get like a tofu stir fry or something instead.
What about just tofu?
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it?
Well, you're still gonna have to have it if you're having the stir fry.
Yeah, in a stir fry, it's flavored with other things. If it's just on a plate with a bit of bread.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm never sure I've ever just had tofu on its own.
It's not great.
In things.
It's not great.
We the other day, because it was half term and I had Tuesday off, we went for, this got nothing to do with tofu, I was just thinking about bread, and we went for an all-you-can-eat breakfast. They do them at table.
I'm in McDonald's, or you can eat breakfast.
He's eating out a lot for someone who doesn't eat out.
Good grief.
This day was astounding because we went all-you-can-eat breakfast, got up early, all-you-can-eat breakfast, and it was kids eat free.
Right, where'd you go for this breakfast, Phil?
Like table.
Very nice.
So they have them attached to like Beef Eater or somewhere like that. They're always attached to a Premier Inn. Everything's
Actually,
Premier, but the price.
Table, actually.
A table, lovely.
Yeah.
So we went there. This hot and cold food, all of that. $9.99 for an adult. But Isla, who's 12, they just let her have free food as well. So it cost us £19 for 5 people.
Yeah, it's good.
I got 3 daughters.
To be fair, most of your family don't eat meat.
Yeah, and
that's where the money is, isn't
it? That is true. Maybe you're right. But
that
anyway,
muesli.
Pardon?
Well, just eating muesli, presumably those 3.
No, they had the rest of the cooked breakfast with veggie sausages.
Oh yeah.
And then they went to town on the croissants. And the good thing about it was, like sometimes if you go for breakfast, they'll give you like a couple of slices of toast, and they'll give you one of those little butter portions, which spreads about half a piece of bread.
Oh, that upsets me when that happens. Yeah.
Yeah. So on this occasion, help yourself to as many butter portions as you want.
Oh,
it was incredible.
Oh, you really did live the dream.
Oh,
what a time to be alive.
2 butters per slice.
Yeah, 100%. You really want to bring on, the cholesterol levels. And then, so we did that. Kids, you don't need lunch because we've had a big breakfast. Clever. And then we went really wild and had Domino's for dinner. It was
Good,
nice.
great.
So hang on. You had table, Domino's,
Yeah.
and McDonald's in the time which you've told us that you don't really eat out.
I could rewind half an hour when you were telling us it's really expensive to eat out, so you don't eat out.
Yeah. McDonald's was a good couple of weeks ago.
Right.
A good couple of weeks. And to be fair, we blitzed our whole half-term budget into the one day that I had off. So bless my wife, she then had to do cheap things with the kids for the rest of the week.
Oh yeah, that's rubbish, isn't it? Whenever I'm off, I like to spoil the kids, have big grand days out, and Claire has to just sort of go to the park in the rain with other mums the rest of the week. That's how it rolls in our house.
Yeah.
Do you know, Claire made the, I'll say, disgusting suggestion that we go to Monkey World last week. And
I went there once, and all the monkeys were hid behind, just behind like trees or in their cages. So we just walked around and couldn't see any monkeys.
It is rubbish.
So why is this a disgusting?
Because she knows how I feel about it, Lewis. That it is.
I thought you like monkeys.
I absolutely, and that is the problem, Lewis.
Oh, you don't want to see him caged?
Oh no, I don't. I want to see him caged. I want to see him caged, but I want to get in that cage with them and play. For me, it's the equivalent of going to an adult club.
No, Mikey, no, Mikey, that was so not right.
You can look, but you
for
can't
getting in
touch. You can look, but you can't touch, lads. I can't get in there. I can't have a little tea party with the chimps. I can't wrestle with the gorilla. You know, I can't swing around in the trees with the orangutans. I just have to stand there and watch and just, you know, hope that one might come to the glass and I might get a little smile or a wave. It's rubbish.
Okay, hang on. I don't mean to roll you back a bit, but you've compared it to going to, and I quote, an adult club, because you don't enjoy those. What about a kids club?
No, sorry, what?
What? As opposed to what? An adult?
Like
they don't do kids clubs.
Oh, I don't know how I was trying to be kind of slightly opaque about it, Phil.
Yeah.
A club where adult things happen if you pay the right amount of money.
Oh, naughty clubs.
The line.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
The line,
no,
you can look but you can't touch, should have been a clue.
Right. Yeah.
There you are.
I find it easier using my hands, but you may use whatever implements you prefer.
I've never been, but to one. I've been to Monkey, to be clear, I've never been to one, but I can't imagine it's a particularly pleasant experience. Just, you know, sitting there and thinking. So,
me and my wife had this conversation about.
Oh God, I thought you were going to say me and my wife went to one.
No, because I was saying I don't understand the point. I don't. Anyway, it's another.
At the beginning of this episode, Phil said, "I'm really hoping I'm not going to have to edit this episode." How's that looking?
Well, Lewis, I think we need to keep on moving.
Yeah.
Anyway, next question. Because I genuinely do not have time to edit this. This, listeners, is what happens. This is an unedited episode. And believe it or not, previous episodes have had an element of edit.
This is going out raw and will not be played in the car of my family.
Why? What's happened?
Well, there's a bit of a grown-up edge to it. The mention of naughty clubs. Well, you've just referenced naughty clubs.
I could be talking about golf.
That's naughty golf clubs.
Well, if they don't work.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those naughty clubs.
Sometimes you might hit a bad shot and then go, "Oh, you naughty club."
Okay.
That's what I was talking about. I don't know where your head is. Mickey says, "Why do they never give you enough cheese with a Ploughman's?"
Oh, Mickey, thanks for stepping in with a question. I have noticed that some pubs you'll either pay for a ham Ploughman's or a cheese Ploughman's. That's a frustration of mine.
Yeah, you want both.
You can pay extra to have both. It's a general expectation, I think, these days to have both.
Absolutely. It's a bit. It always upsets me. I mean, Mike, you're going to be furious at this, but if you get gammon in a pub, sometimes you can have an egg or a pineapple ring with your gammon. I think you should always have both.
Oh God! Egg, a pineapple, and meat.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Perfect.
Gross.
Yeah, yeah, you should be able to have both. And if you want both, they'll charge you a hilarious amount for a ring of tin pineapple.
You should be charged some kind of penalty for asking for pineapple on your dinner.
To get given smooth pickle.
yeah. Nicely recalled.
Very good. You've done well there. So I've just looked at the autumn menu for the pub in the village.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's the autumn 2022 menu, and they have a Ploughman's on there, served with mixed salad, pickled onion, singular. I mean, how much would it cost them to give us an extra pickled onion or two?
Mm-hmm.
Chutney, vague, doesn't say which one. A gala pie.
Well, that's now. Hold on. Is that the one with the egg in the middle?
Oh, you know what? I think you could be right.
Is that
yes, you are.
Like the pork pie with the egg in?
Yeah, and that is.
Oh, that's quite nice.
And that is the gala pie is named after the bingo halls.
It
famously.
Is.
Yeah.
Yep. And slice of bloomer bread with butter. Doesn't specify how many butter portions you're going to receive. And then it says you could choose two of the following.
There we go.
Oh, right.
Soup.
Oh.
I mean, come on now.
Sorry, what now?
Soup,
right.
Ham, sausage, prawns, brie.
This is not so
mature cheddar. Doesn't tell you how mature, so you're going to have to assume it's mid-range mature. Or
so what have they already put on it?
Well, I've told you. Salad, a single pickled onion, the type chutney.
There's no cheese on it already?
No.
So if you don't choose it as an option, you could have a cheeseless Ploughman's.
Yep. You could have a soup and prawn Ploughman's. And
I mean, I'm against neither of those things, but they do feel odd selections.
Brie as well. It's not called a cultivateur lunch, is it?
Sorry,
it's
Mike,
called a Ploughman's lunch.
Yeah, it is. It is called a Ploughman's lunch. So yeah, and that was 11.25 in autumn 2022. So you'd have to imagine it's more now. You really don't get much.
I hope they've received some feedback, and that is no longer part of the menu. A soup and prawn Ploughman's.
You could. That is feasible. Yeah, I would love to go up there.
Call them out. Name them and shame them.
Why don't you phone them now and see if they'll deliver you a soup and... don't. Wow.
Oh, Mike's left. He seems
immediately.
So he's gone to get takeaway. He's gone.
This is. I mean, who knows where he's gone, Lewis? But the timing of it couldn't be more exciting. So Mike's disappeared, and the next question is Matt asking: should it be called a ploughperson's? Oh, that's an excellent point.
Yeah.
I assume it's named after people ploughing fields.
Well, you presume so. Mike didn't give us in the history. He seemed to not touch on that.
I noticed that his history was somewhat lacking in history.
Yeah, it's a bit like sort of the Cornish pasty and the things that the miners had. Is the ploughmans related to the ploughing profession?
But people who because obviously the Cornish pasty, you'll probably be aware, that has a crust, so they could eat it even with their dirty hands because they could just leave the crust if they want. A ploughman's is for people with clean hands because they need to get involved. A ploughman's is quite a task.
Yeah, a bit more involved. What was the question, Phil? I've forgotten.
Should it be called a ploughperson's?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, if you're allowing soup and prawns, by all means.
I mean, I'm all for inclusivity. Yeah, prawns might be pushing it as much as I do like a prawn.
We have a question from Joe. We need to be honest. We need a theme for Joe, and I don't know what it should be. I don't have anything. Here that. Yeah, I'm just trying to think on the soundboard. What? Yeah, let's give Joe some fancy music.
Oh, lovely.
quietly in the background whilst I read Joe's question. Joe, well, actually, I need to stop this. I need to tell you something that happened, and I need to know why it happened, Lewis. So I'm so sorry, Lewis. It's because I was thinking of Joe. There's a new shop in the local town called the Green Gram. It's a community refill shop. It's good for the environment. You take in your own pots, and they fill them with various things. Glacé cherries, for example. Lady in front of the queue last week when I went in there was buying some, I think they were pecans.
Right.
And she was, I would say, in her 70s. And she said to the lady, can I have some pecans? Not too many, please, because my husband is a Scorpio.
Okay.
Why? As a vicar, why?
I mean, I'm not sure this comes under my area, to be honest, of star signs.
Have you heard anything? Have you heard of anything like that where you probably shouldn't have too many pecans?
Is it a full moon?
It is today, a beautiful moon today. When
Right.
we're
So, I've been notoriously can have as many pecans as you like on a full moon.
Yeah,
I have absolutely. I mean, if I had heard that, I think I may have had to leave the shop from the fits of laughter I would have been in. That's stunning.
It's very confusing. Very confusing.
Yeah. Well, maybe listeners could write in with the best things they've overheard in a shop.
Oh, that is a lovely idea. Let's give Joe the Moroccan. Let's give Joe some Moroccan music. Joe says, when I was growing up and we went to the pub with family, there was always a ploughman's option, but you hardly ever see it these days. Why? Well, Joe, in our village, you can. You can even have a soup ploughman's. Now that I'm older, I'd much prefer a ploughman's as an alternative to a sandwich or a pretentious panini. I mean, that's odd, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretentious panini kind of a guy.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a panini if it's on the menu.
I'd
have panini with a bowl of soup. Lovely.
Yeah, that would go well. That would go well.
Well. Not ploughman's and soup, but panini and soup. Very good.
Joe says, must all potential church members have intimate knowledge of a ploughman's supper as part of their initiation?
Good question, Joe. I would say, I mean, if we can throw back to a previous episode, as we have already done, I think it's more important to have knowledge and views on quiche if you're going to be involved in church. Ploughman's, I would say, is not as important, but still somewhat important.
Okay, let's see what Mike thinks.
I'm so sorry, boys.
Are you on the toilet? What is that angle? Do not put the camera lower.
No, I'm so sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah, sorry, my battery died.
Oh, okay. Well, me and Lewis have been having a lovely chat. Mike, now you're back.
Yes.
Are you aware of there being any danger in pecan consumption for Scorpios?
Oh, sorry. Pecan consumption for Scorpios.
Yeah, it's been quite the conversation we've been having.
I mean, everyone's familiar with the issues around Leo's eating cashews, but no, never scorpions and pecans. No,
it's not scorpions, Mike. We're not worried about insects here. We're talking about
Scorpios.
I mean, also, please don't feed your pet scorpions pecans
in case they have a nut allergy
or popping candy.
No. Oh, now I have. So I put something out. I don't know how we started talking about popping candy on a recent podcast, but
no. I think you were feeding it to children in Uganda. I think.
I don't want to talk about my charity work, Lewis, but yeah, I did once do that on a trip building mud huts in my own time and at my own expense. But yes, I was looking for animals to feed popping candy to, and none of you volunteered, despite all being pet owners, me being the only one without any pets.
The gerbils are noisy enough without popping candy.
Well, you really can't stand your gerbils as well, Phil, so it would have been perfect.
No, don't start that rumour. I like my gerbils. I just sometimes, when they're running in their wheel, like they are now, luckily I've got headphones on, I can see the wheels are going round. Yeah. It's distracting.
Okay. Well, in which case, then you probably, I was thinking sort of, you know, it can go one of two ways, and either is fine. Really, one, it'll be really entertaining, or two, they'll cop it. But fine. You've got a dog.
I'd pay good money to see you try and feed popping candy to a scorpion. So if you could upload that video, that'd be.
I bet you would. But yeah. Anyway, I put something on my socials, and there are a few people, for whatever reason, seeming like slightly taken aback by the suggestion. But one girl did say, "Yeah, I've got a dog. Very welcome to come and feed it popping candy."
I'd also like to see you approach a dog.
Well,
without popping candy.
I'm not a big fan of dogs, as you know, so I would pop it in the bowl and then sort of hastily retreat. I have YouTubed it, and there's a surprising lack of videos of animals eating popping candy. There is one of a dog, and seems perfectly happy with the scenario. Not ever so excited. I think smaller animals would be more fun. So I think, yeah, really, I am kind of hinting quite heavily for that. I'd like to come and feed your gerbils popping candy.
You would not be. You would not be doing that. I'm afraid.
Okay.
I would feel very bad if that happened.
I go near gerbils with a bowl of popping candy.
Right. Okay. We don't need to worry about this. Girls, Uncle Mike is not coming in to our house. So James says, I once heard, and I'm not sure, that the Ploughman's lunch as we know it was created in the 1950s by the Milk Marketing Board to boost flagging cheese sales.
Very good, James. Very strong. He too has popped onto Wikipedia, perhaps. Yeah, that's right. Milk and cheese, they were both massively behind it. Never the Onion Brigade. They were never really pushing it. Didn't need to.
No, not if they're getting one pickled onion. It's not really going to make much difference, is it?
Maybe not a make or break scenario for the onion farmers.
What's your favourite type of pickled onion? Is it silver skin, even though the skins aren't silver?
I like a hot and spicy.
Oh, I'm not sure I've ever had one.
Well, I mean, Haywards make a nice hot and spicy, but you obviously a lot of the homemade ones, people pop chilies in with a pickle, don't they? With the vinegar.
Haywards would be a really niche sponsor to a podcast.
Wouldn't they?
I mean, do they do anything else apart from pickles?
I don't know, but I'd like to say at this stage, I would also like a pickled onion from Haywards, and I'm a big fan.
Well, okay, there we go.
If that's going to help seal the deal.
Yeah.
Mike, get in touch with Haywards.
Leave it with me.
Yeah, not right now. Don't phone them on a Sunday evening.
Well, last time I tried to phone the pub just now, and I lost you.
Yeah. I mean, the timing was impeccable. Gents, it's getting late. People have probably had their fill. You don't really get that full up, do you, on a Ploughman's?
Well, unless you have it with a bowl of soup and some prawns, then you might.
Yeah.
It's getting late. It's getting late, boys, and it's that time of the year. Let's timestamp it again. It's that time of the year. For the next 2 weeks, we're saying, I mean, it's 10 to 9, but it's actually 10 to 10. Oh, there'll be a bit of that action.
Clocks changed last night.
I've been saying it all day. Oh, I'm tired. It's 10 to 2, but actually it's 10 to 3. Yeah, there's been a bit of that all day long.
Actually, nap time.
Yeah. So
have you got any other business, gents?
Daphne from Scooby Doo.
Oh,
sorry? Just to throw things back to right at the beginning of the episode. Yeah, there you go.
What now?
Daphne.
Oh, really, Lewis? Really, Lewis?
That's what you like about her.
I mean, it's got to be the red hair.
Oh, he's just sucking up to his wife, also a redhead.
There you go.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Not her crime-solving abilities.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that as well.
Wow, wow.
Has Jo, your wife, ever solved a crime?
Oh, has she ever solved a crime? Not that I can draw to mind at this moment.
That's quite a niche question to pose.
It was quite a niche. I was reading around
the podcast.
Yeah,
I was going to suddenly reveal that she formerly worked for the police, or yeah. I mean, Daphne, she would be so far down the list.
Would she? Who else? Who's she behind, Mike?
Well, you've got the three bunnies. We know Cadbury's Caramel Bunny, she is your obsession when it comes to cartoon characters. You've got the 3 bunnies. You've got her. You've got the one from Roger Rabbit, Jessica Rabbit, despite not being actual rabbit, and you've got Lola Bunny from
Right.
from Looney Tunes. Yeah, from Space Jam. So you got Lola Bunny. Then of course you got April O'Neil in the mix.
I mean, I've got a friend who's a psychoanalyst. If you want to speak to someone about the fact that you've just named a load of animals that you find attractive, rather than
we're out in the country here, Lewis. It's all good.
Yeah.
All good.
Right.
Not a problem at all.
I'll pass the number on to you.
Was it you, Mike, who used to always have a thing for Chun-Li from Street Fighter?
I don't. I suppose I had a bit of a soft spot. She looked quite pleasant.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think I had a massive thing for her.
Okay, fine. Gents, we've really got to keep on moving.
Cool, you got your money's worth out of that sound clip, haven't you, tonight?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Gents, thank you very much. It's been fun. And hope everyone has a good week. And we will be back next week. Do take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
April.